Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yesterday we saw US market moving up post the comment from Fed over there, which has indicated that the economic recovery is good and they are on course to increase interest rates, maybe starting from March. And also, they will be looking at reducing the balance sheet size towards the end of the year. Uh, Apart from that, what we had seen that the DAX, that is the dollar index, which was running over 96, has come down, and that has supported the market in riskier assets class, both in equity and commodity. And also post this comment, the bond yield also remained more of a sideway at around 1.72 in that market. So that has all resulted into performance of US market. And apart from that, the future of the US market are also more of a flattish. And Asian market, because of the dollar index declining, are seeing some good movement today morning. Most of the markets are up by over 1%. And even in the commodity, if we see aluminum is up by around 1.2%, copper is up by around 1.4%, iron ore is up by around 2%, and steel is up by around 1.5%. So across the board, we are seeing rally in the commodity as well. Today, we will be having CPI inflation data again in the US. That is again likely to move up to 7%. That is one of the highest in many years. And this is against last month figure of 6.8%. So what we feel that all these inflation high numbers are there in the expectations of the market, and if suppose the inflation come even higher than what is expected, then we may have some marginal impact. Apart from that, the coking coal prices has again started moving up. It went up to around $420 and then it came down to $320. And now again it is at around $380. So again, prices of coking coal are increasing, and that will have a cost push for the steel sectors, and the cost of steel companies will move up because of this. Even thermal coal prices has also started moving up, which were normally at around $800, went up to as high as $220 and then corrected to $120, and now it is moving up to around $155, $156. So this is likely to have some impact on the other cement companies which are consuming a lot of imported coals. And apart from that, even lot many industries consume this thermal coal, imported thermal coal to generate power. So that can again is pushing cost up for various sectors. For today, it seems like more of a rosy day, and we are seeing positiveness across the sector. Now I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yeah, thank you. So good morning, all of you. This is Swati. Yesterday also we have seen a very great momentum into the Nifty. Nifty has managed to maintain a positive closing above 18,000 psychological mark, which was acting as a strong resistance levels. Looking towards the now global market, I believe that our market is likely to open with a little bit gap up, and we might witness some positive move during the day. As I said, 18,000 was the first psychological resistance level, and Nifty managed to maintain a positive closing. I believe this rally is likely to be continued towards 18,170, which will be the first resistance level for the today. Any move above that level, we expect a continuation of this positive rally towards 18,300 to 18,440 levels on the higher side. Whereas on downside, the first support is placed at 18,000. Below that level, 17,920 and 17,800 levels can be seen. The view will remain a positive as long as it sustains above 17,900 level. Now 17,900 will act as a crucial support level for the Nifty. If it manages to give a breakdown on the of 17,900 levels on the closing basis, then only we can witness some selling pressure into the market. Till the time you can maintain your long positions, but with the strict stop losses. Coming towards the Bank Nifty side, Bank Nifty for the today intraday purpose, the first resistance is placed at 38,800. any move above that level, we expect a continuation of a positive rally towards 39,140 to 39,400 levels on the higher sides. Whereas on lower side, 38,300 will be the first support level. Below that level, 38,000 levels can be seen. These are the important support and resistance level of the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. Coming towards the Nifty Finance, the resistance is placed at 18,350. Above that level, 18,400 and 450 levels can be seen. Whereas on the lower side, 18,200 is the first support level. Below that level, 18,100 levels can be seen. The overall view of the market will remain a positive as long as it sustains above the mentioned support levels. That's it from my side. I request you guys to take a call forward.
Yeah, thank you, Swati. See, on the derivative front, the overall positions are positive. See, 18,000 strike, call and put, both have seen good amount of open interest built up in the last 2 or 3 days. However, in yesterday, some liquidation was finally seen in the 18,000 call strike, and the PCR has gone above 1. So definitely that is a good sign. It was a strong resistance zone between 18,000 and 18,100. Now with the SGX up, we are likely to open above 18,100 odd levels, which is a positive sign. If we continue to hold above the 18,100 levels, the next real resistance for Nifty would come around the 18,400, 18,500 levels. So there is a clear upside after this. Again, we need to sustain above 18,100 and close above the same as well. So both of these factors are very important. The VIX is one area of concern because with the upcoming Nifty, and VIX has also increased from 16, 15 and a half odd levels to about 18, and it continues to stay at elevated levels. So if at all, during the course of this week, Nifty breaks the 18,000 levels, we can see some sort of selling pressure coming in. So 18,000 is the stop loss for longs for the next 2 or 3 days. So continue to look at the same. From the stock specific front, ONGC witnessed good amount of open interest built up along with increasing price. Also banks continue to witness good amount of open interest built up. So these are the stocks in the private and public banks where you will see good amount of run up. So the likes of SBI, HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, ICICI Bank. These banks had a lot of short built up in the last month, and which was covered now, and we are seeing steady long built up in these stocks now. So definitely, some amount of buying can come in further in the banking space. Yesterday, the metal space, lot of stocks have witnessed breakdowns. Out of them, Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, SAIL are the ones where the breakdown is clear. So there is going to be some amount of selling pressure which can come in these stocks even today, and these stocks might remain under pressure. Some short picked up has been seen in these stocks. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to take over this.
Good morning. Yesterday, Federal Bank said that they have an NBFC arm by the name of FedBank Financial Services, or FedFina. They will be coming out with IPO of this subsidiary. So this should be marginally positive for the bank. Federal Bank holds 74% stake in FedFina, and post the IPO also it will remain a subsidiary of the bank. The NBFC has mainly 3 products: gold loans, which is around 40%, home loans and LAP, which is around 55%, and the remaining is in microfinance. So primarily a retail lender. Loan book is small at 4,500 crores, and even in FY21 it grew by 23% year on year, as well as the GNPA was at less than 1%. So overall, NBFC looks attractive from business point of view. We think it will trade at premium valuation because of long growth runway, size small, and asset quality is decent, although ROE are a bit depressed because of higher capital adequacy. But we assume that it will trade at least 3 times FY22 book value. And assuming Federal Bank sells 14% of its stake via the OFS route in the IPO, the book value of Federal Bank will increase by approx 3%. So marginally positive for Federal Bank. Thank you.
Good
Yeah, good
morning.
morning.
So
I'll take up. Ultratech Cement commissioned its line 2 of the Bara grinding unit in Uttar Pradesh with a capacity of 2 million ton. Line 1 was earlier commissioned in January 2020, which is currently operating at 80% utilization levels. With this additional capacity, the company's total cement capacity has increased to 114.5 million ton per annum. This is neutral for the company. Other than this, Novelis, which is a US subsidiary of Hindalco, will be investing $365 million to build a recycling center for automotive in North America with an annual casting capacity of 240,000 ton of sheet ingot. With this facility, the company will reduce its carbon emission by more than 1 million ton every year, and will commission in 2024. Thank you.
good morning. So Delta Corp announced its result yesterday. The revenue grew by 105% on a YOY basis and 231% on a sequential basis. The EBITDA margin came at 43% versus 9.7 on a year-on-year basis and negative 25.3% on a sequential basis. The company's board has approved the appointment of advisors, bankers, and other intermediaries by Gaussian Networks Private Limited (GNPL), which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the company that is engaged in the online gaming business, for a public issue by listing of equity shares. This is positive for the company. The share is trading at a PE of 102 times TTM EPS. We are positive on the stock. Thank you.
So apart from this, yesterday DLF has said that they had launched one premium project, One Town, and that has received very good response and has clocked sales of around 1,500 crore from this project on the launch. So that looks quite positive. Last year, if we see, they had pre-sales of around 4,500. And against it, single project is they are garnering around 1,500 crores of sales. So it looks like in the current year the sales will be quite substantially higher, and this will act quite positive for DLF. We had recommended earlier also, and we are positive on DLF. And we may see over a period target price of around 475 for DLF. Apart from that, if you see the Indiabull real estate, if we see there is a lot of value opportunity in that also. There is a process which is going on, that is Indiabull real estate will get merged with Embassy Developer, and the company name will change to Embassy Developer. The old promoter has exited the company, and it will be now owned by the Embassy Group. What we see that there is a large land bank which is available with the combined entity, wherein they will be developing both residential and also the commercial aspects. For commercial, where the Embassy is quite famous, and they have existing REITs also for the commercial. They have a land bank of around 350 acres, wherein they can develop over almost around 42 million square feet over a period of time. And these all properties are in Bangalore and near to the hub of IT parks. So what we see that there is a good opportunity if, over a period of time, when all these properties start getting developed over a period of time. One of the things that embassy which has transferred the properties in this were of a higher ticket size, property value of around 4 crore, 5 crore per flats. So that also is now getting good response now and is selling like normal. There is no concern in selling of all those properties. So all these things are likely to act as positive for the company in coming period. Even if we take the downside of these property and do not consider the value of future developments, then also the value comes out to around 200 rupees per shares. So the downside risk, the share is right now trading at around 170. So even trading at lower than the NAV of the current assets, and not considering the future development. So if we consider future development, it can give a good handsome return over a period of time. So India Bull Real Estate looks quite positive to us from a bit longer term perspective. Now, few of the results for Saturday and then Monday. Saturday we have a result of HDFC Bank. Here we had already seen that the company has announced the loan growth figures. Against that, the NII is likely to grow by around 14% and PAT is likely to grow around 15% year on year. Quarter on quarter, it will show a good growth of around 5% on the net interest income and 5.5% on PBP, that is profit before provisioning. We will see a reduction in the provisioning in this quarter on quarter basis, and that will lead to higher PAT growth of around 14%. Slippage are likely to remain stable quarter on quarter, and the share is trading at around 4x price to book, which is more of a bottom of the cycle, which valuations HDFC Bank at. So looks comparatively attractive for HDFC Bank. Apart from that, the results on Monday, we have Angel One results on that day. We are seeing that there is a good growth in new accounts opening up and also the volume of the trade. So overall, Angel One result is likely to be good. Then we have HFCL results on that day. We had seen that company has consistently reported PAT around 80 crores per quarter in last 4-5 quarters. And recently the company has raised even QIP also. So the order book which company had announced last year has shown some improvement. Company is changing its business model from project business to product business. That's why the revenue had remained stagnant for last few quarters. Quite possible it may start increasing in this quarter or next quarter. Valuations are a bit steep. It is trading at somewhere around 35 times trailing earning, considering that the upside seems limited. Then we have a result of Tata Steel long product on that day. We are seeing a lot of cost push is been handled by Tata Steel long product, mainly on account of coking coal and coke both prices. So that will have an impact on the margins and volumes were also more of a stable, nothing so great improvement in the volume also we had seen. So results are likely to show some declining trend. Then we have a result of Ultratech Limited. Here, the assumptions is that the possibility of the cement shares were facing a lot of cost pressure in this quarter, but Ultratech seems to be doing comparatively better. Volumes are expected to increase by around 3% year on year and 8% quarter on quarter. And EBITDA per ton is likely to remain likely to decline marginally by around 0.5% quarter on quarter, though it will be year on year decline of around 8%. So overall result seems to be okay, or even we can say it is better considering the price which is corrected. So overall outlook seems to be positive for Ultratech, considering that recently the cement companies had taken price increase of around 20 to 30 rupees in January month. Assuming that the volume will come back, if suppose Last month also cement prices increased at the start of the month, but the volume didn't came back, and that's why they have to correct the prices again. This time again, companies are trying to has increased the prices and are expecting higher volume. So if suppose the volume come back, then the prices, higher prices can sustain, and they can take further one more price increase in this month. So overall outlook on the cement sector seems comparatively positive from here, specifically for UltraTech Cement. The share is trading at around 15.5 time FY23 EV by EBITDA. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.